Welcome back. It's November 3rd, Sunday, 2024. I think it's November 3rd. Tomorrow is the opening day for deer season here in Ontario. Very much looking forward to it. Got a couple of spots, got some deer on the cameras, and we've got mediocre weather. Gonna have a good time. Gonna enjoy being in the outdoors, and with a little bit of luck, we'll get some venison to take home. Last year, weather was pretty good. It was single digits or negatives for the most part. This year, we have a couple days in the mid-high teens. Not ideal, but much rather be out hunting in mediocre weather than back home working in good weather. Can't wait to show you guys what's in store this week. That's my quick little intro for this video. It's getting late, and that alarm is going to be going off very early. Arguing with my dad, I'm saying 4 a.m., he's saying 4:45 a.m. Maybe we'll meet in the middle. Well, it's just after 7 on opening morning. Long story short, I'm not in my tree stand this morning. Just took too long to get ready this morning, and by the time I was ready to start walking in towards my stand off the trail, it was already so close to legal shooting. And I think I'm in a good spot this year and didn't want to spook anything walking in, so I decided to just sit down in a spot and wait and see. I hear lots of dogs, which in my opinion is a little upsetting on opening morning, but maybe something will get spooked towards me. Well, I'm finally in my tree stand. It's really late to be starting to get in your stand, but I'm glad it decided to not go into my stand and instead wait until it got the sunrise so that I could see. Because I could swear I could hear something walking in the direction of where my stand is, and I'd rather not bust myself. I also had to put a couple of straps up here for my harness, and oh my goodness, it was hard doing it with light. I couldn't imagine doing it in the dark. Alright, Dad, what'd you see this morning?
Moose. Bull moose.
You shoot?
It's deer season. Nice to see something though.
We're gonna start heading out for the morning. Unfortunately, in my spot, there's a hunter. Well, there's a trail cam and some corn set up maybe 80 yards behind me. Didn't even see it until this morning, which is disappointing, but I guess that's the thing about public land. So we're gonna reevaluate. Didn't see the guy this morning, which is curious considering it's opening morning. We're gonna think about what to do next. So I'm wondering if maybe a deer circled downwind because of, from what I've read and heard, bucks will circle downwind of rattling. It was windy today, but the wind wasn't really picking a direction until maybe the last half hour or so. So maybe the bucks or any deer circled downwind, caught wind of me and took off. And the theory is that my dad is walking to meet me right now. He might have spooked something and it just took off in that direction.
I heard a snap back in there. Yeah, it was so loud. I said to myself, I hope I don't see what it is.
It's about 10 o'clock. About 17, 18 degrees right now. Sweating buckets. This isn't deer hunting weather. On my way out, ran across a fresh set of tracks, followed those for a bit. Lost it eventually, just too much noise. Too much other tracks and dirt kicked up and everything, so head out, maybe take a nap, and then I'll go back out. Normally I would do some all day sits, but it's just too hot, and I don't think the deer are going to be moving in this 17, 18 degree weather. I could be wrong, but it's just uncomfortably hot for me too. I'd rather it be cold. So I think tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, I'm going to do some all day sits. Check, testing, 1, 2, 3. It's about 4:25. Got a little under an hour of legal shooting. It's pretty windy up in this tree. I'm starting to get a little chilly because I was sweating so much coming in here. But I can hack it another hour. Maybe something will walk on by. Good morning. Back out here. I chose a new spot, a new ridge to sit on. Kind of regretting it. Can't really see as far as I thought I would be able to, and the wind wasn't good for it, so it feels a bit like a wasted morning. I enjoy walking around a bit, walking on the edge of some swamps. I'll see if it produces. Beavers over the years. I went to town on this place. Almost looks like a tornado went through here, but it's just beavers. Done quite a bit of walking today and just nothing. It's pretty quiet. I'll walk maybe under 11:30. Nothing. Sun's coming out. Well, it's been out, but it's starting to dry up the leaves and make them crunchy again. So I figure I'll probably just find a nice ridge, sit for a couple hours, have my lunch, and then slowly make my way to my stand. I think I'm going to sit at my stand again tonight. So for lunch I just got a cold cut sandwich, prosciutto, ham, Swiss cheese, and some lettuce. I forgot to put onion on this morning. And I got myself an oatmeal cookie for dessert, homemade. All I'm missing now is a nice hot coffee. What I would give for one. I'm getting sleepy sitting here in the sun. Time to switch it up. Some cool tracks here. These are moose, I'm pretty sure. That's not pretty sure. Almost certain. I suppose they could be elk, but it's definitely not deer. Hopefully it's big. Coming down the hill and walking towards the swamp. Well, I'm in a new spot. Pretty similar vibe. I have no idea if this is the wrong line of thinking, but it's relatively cool compared to the, well, no, it's cold compared to the past few days. Past few days have been very warm. This is the first November weather day we've had this week. It's been really sunny, so my thinking all day has been, are the deer going to want to be out of the swamps and evergreens to get a bit more warmth, a bit more sunlight? That line of thinking hasn't led to success today, but I'm sticking with it for now. I can't tell you, but the camera can. But I feel like I got really sunburned today in November. I'm also so thirsty. I brought 2 bottles of water to drink both. Hopefully the suffering will be rewarded. I've seen about a dozen grouse this week, which we really don't see that many around here. And I've tried to film about 7 or 8 of them. Every time I'm about to get a good shot, I just take off and fly so far. I'm thinking, ugh. I'd love to get one on camera. Well, after a lot of walking, got to a lake, and this is about as far as I'm allowed to walk. I've been to this lake before, but not in maybe 10 years. I haven't walked this far back in while hunting in so long. Last time I was here, though, I remember the lake was bigger. Water levels dropped probably about 3-4 feet, so there's a lot more marsh and tall grass. Kind of sad to see, but tall grass is also very beautiful in this sunlight. Well, I'm doing another all-day set. Did a lot of walking and climbing a big hill. I got soaked, just in sweat. It was pretty breezy out, so I'm hoping taking my jacket off will help all of it evaporate, but I'm getting chilled already because of the sweat. Also, supposedly blue is one of the colors deer see best, so that's not ideal. I'm really hoping this wind dies down because I'm starting to freeze. day, but it's starting to get a bit more steady. Well, I'm a little ashamed to say that I got pretty much soaking wet sitting out where I was previously. My dad's blind was a few hundred meters away. Actually, a little more than that, maybe like half a kilometer away. So I just tricked it in here, and just gonna stay the rest of the evening here. I tried my best to stay dry, but I think what screwed me was going for a long walk in the thick brush. My jacket and pants are just picking up moisture from the trees and the branches. It's bitter cold this morning. With wind chill, it's supposed to feel about -10. So I'm up on this ridge. Very big ridge with a little bit of snow on the ground. And I'm hoping that something will come up here to warm itself up with not only the sun, but all the acorns on the ground. Desperation is set in. Oh man, the wind is not making this a pleasant sit at all. Just move spots quickly. My dad's gonna be walking in from the right to meet me up here, so I'm wondering if, or hoping something's gonna get spooked and run my way, but we'll see. It's so cold this morning. So we're climbing down this hill here, and I realize this freaking beaver is booby trapping the place. In the dark, if you slip and fall on these, you're dead. There's a whole bunch of them too. Second to last night, and I'm back along the edge of some really thick evergreens, and there's a swamp about 100 yards to my right. Sorry, 100 meters. I'm in Canada after all. I'm starting to run out of ideas, but I chose this spot Dad? Fill me in.
It's cold this morning. What was it? -.
7, 8, close.
Yeah.
Maybe colder than that.
Leaves are nice and crunchy. So I found a nice spot here. I'm covered on two sides. The wind was blowing behind me, and I can hear squirrels all over the place. So I was getting pissed off. And then around 7:30, I heard something off to the left here in the cedars. It sounded like a person walking through the woods. So I knew it was something big. And it was walking away from me. I was thinking to myself, damn it, come on out in the open so I can see it.
Yeah.
And I guess whatever it was, it heard me, and it came out in the open, and I could see that it was a deer, but I couldn't tell if it was a buck or a doe. So I saw about that much of its chest, and we have a doe tag. So I took a shot, and it didn't move, and I thought, shit, maybe I missed it.
Oh, did you move the first day?
Or maybe it was trying to figure out where the shot came from.
How far of a shot?
60 yards.
Okay.
Then I quickly loaded, and then lined it up, and took a second shot, and I hit it.
You think you got it with both, or just the one?
We'll find out in a minute, but I know it was a deer. Small spike buck.
Is it?
Yeah. Actually got more than 3 inches.
You can measure.
Oh, it's only got the one.
Oh, it's got 2.
Oh, 2.
You got longs, eh?
Yeah.
Nice long shot.
That's more than 3 inches.
Yeah.
Does it have to be both?
No, it's just one. Because think about it. Imagine there's a 10 point, but it only had one antler. That's still a legal buck. Well, there's our deer. Little spike buck. Decent sized body.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you want to unload your gun?
Yeah.
Just in case of you bending over and everything.
Yep. Alright.
Time to drag.
You didn't even go far.
Oh, good shot.